Well, hi, Carol.
Perfect timing, Gino.
No kidding. We're right on schedule.
We're right on schedule. Whatever.
Lots of stuff going on. A lot of people to interview.
Oh, how are you, my friend?
I brought my son with me. He's got the day off from the Lighthouse School.
Hello.
Hi. Friday.
I'm Carol.
That's Harry.
Hi, Harry.
Yeah, that's him. How's your day, Carol?
Busy.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah? What are you
Yes.
doing today?
What am I doing today? I am meeting with you.
Yeah.
Going for a ride.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to go talk to Kim at Fairgrounds.
What's Kim?
Which Kim? Puda, is it?
Oh, okay. No more talking, please, Harry. And then?
To discuss a few meet and greets before voting. Then I'm going to meet with Andrew Force to discuss my town meeting article on doing the whole Prospect bike path at one time.
Oh, gosh.
Then I'm going to the library and browse for a little bit. Then I'm going to the gym. Then I'm going home and having
Good.
leftovers.
We love seeing you at the gym.
Yes, Gino and I are gym buddies.
We're gym rats.
Yes, we are.
So, what an appropriate place to meet you here at.
You know, I was wondering, I said, Carol, is this subliminal? So we're starting here at the...
Why don't you tell, before we get going, just tell those people who don't know, well, your position on this police station, by the way.
Yeah, so this is unintentional that we're meeting here, and this is what started Carol Dunton as an involved citizen, because when the police station was approved, I got a petition going, and we brought up downsizing it at the special town meeting. It was not about not needing a new police station. It was about not needing one the size of a super Walmart. So...
And how do you feel now?
How do I feel now?
Yeah.
It's a done deed.
Okay.
You know, yeah. Chief Pittman and all of those whom I disagreed with on it, we get along just fine.
Right, but you still think it's too big?
It's way too big, and I think part of the consequence of this is the toll it's going to take on the fire station effort. I think we put too many of our eggs in one basket with the size of that.
Okay.
And the fire station needs are going to take the toll a little bit, but that's an issue. We don't have to decide right away. We have to decide on the fire station. There are issues sooner rather than later. There are a number of ideas floating around out there, and we will get something done.
All right.
We will get something done.
Okay, well look,
yes.
The format, just so who's tuning in now that doesn't know, I've asked all you guys to pose your own questions that each candidate must answer.
Yes.
And so let's just go through them. So Patty Raghaveen is her first question. How should the town continue its efforts to live within expected revenue?
I think we need to do more belt tightening than we have done. There are a lot of specifics that can be dealt with that. What we must do as a town is what families and businesses here have learned to do since the recession hit, which is we have to accomplish more with less. And we can accomplish that. We just have to watch every penny, and in the instance of the town, it's probably watching every $10,000. Because $10,000 here, $10,000 there suddenly can very easily add up to $1 million. So I think some effort is being made.
But with four other people on the board, how can you do that?
How can I do that? Yeah. It's working hand in hand with town administration, who is trying some consolidation things. I'm not sure they'll all work, but my first impression is that Plus and Andrew Vorse are making really good headway with that consolidation. But this is something that is recently new, and we have to work with departments and with Libby to accomplish things that are acceptable to the broader community. So working with, it's not an individual decision, but I think it's something that the board working together can really accomplish.
Okay, Matt Fee's question. What do you think is the biggest problem facing us as a community, and what do you think the selectmen can and should do to address it?
Money, money, money. Economics, economics. That's what we have to address.
Okay.
The new, and I don't mean to be overly repetitious on this, but we have a new economic reality here. And I don't believe the town has adapted to it. With baby steps, but we have to, I'm going to be repetitive, accomplish more with less. Accomplish more with less. The specifics, I think a board of selectmen that works together with administration, listens to the broader voice of the community can do this.
Okay.
So it's a matter of getting a board in sync.
And God knows you've been going to every meeting. I see you on TV all the time. Do you ever miss one?
I have been known to miss one.
Okay.
I have turned in, I hate to keep going back to the police station issue, but it happened when we citizens weren't paying attention. And I've started paying attention. When we're informed, we make the whole process open. If you'd asked me 5 years ago if I'd have been doing this, I would have rolled my eyes and sort of said, "What's in your head? I don't think so." But I find it fascinating. I find it fascinating. And I'm also a geek on going to the finance committee. I do make comments. As everybody knows, I have opinions. My being opinionated is not a bad thing. My opinions tend to come from an informed position where I do my research ahead of time. Being opinionating, taking a definite stance doesn't make me right, it doesn't make me wrong, but it makes me willing to speak up. And that's what I would like you to do as the Board of Selectmen. I want to serve. And I think, as I keep repeating, I can bring a voice that is more reflective of the broader community. We need to respect and appreciate the people who are involved, but we need, I feel adamantly about this, we need to bring in new faces, new ideas, new voices. We just need to do that. There are so many capable and intelligent people here on island, and we have to draw on that resource.
Well, this goes right into what you were just talking about. This is Alan Reinhardt's question. Why do you believe voters should choose you over the other candidates for a seat on the Board of Selectmen? What abilities and attributes make you most qualified for this highest town governing board?
What makes me, I don't know, that sounds a little lofty. I'm not as I like to stress, I'm not a politician, I'm an involved citizen, and that's what we need so much more of, not only on the Board of Selectmen, we need it across the board with our committees and whatnot. We have a core group that we keep recycling, which is not to fault them, but we have to get different ideas and different viewpoints into the mix. What qualifies me?
Yeah, no, what are your attributes and abilities that will make you qualified?
I'm a citizen.
Okay.
I have a lot of common sense. I've been a business person on island for 30 years. My qualifications is...
What's your business, by the way?
Charles and I were caretakers for 30 years. We're essentially retired now. Had a really good run, loved it. And I think that the business experience, my involvement, my citizen involvement and interest over the last 4 years has just really informed me. On absolutely every issue, no. But I think the operative word for me, what qualifies me, is that strong effort to serve and certainly the ability to do it.
Okay, Stephen Morey's question. In the last couple of years, we have seen volunteers resign from advisory committees, including the Town Energy Committee and the Taxi Advisory Committee. How do you think the Board of Selectmen has handled citizen input, and if elected, what would you do differently?
The Board of Selectmen has does not treat its committees well. It does not, and those are two, that's a wonderful question from Steve. Those are two egregious examples of appoint a committee, take up the time of volunteer citizens, and then don't listen to them. The Energy Study Committee, not only was it resulting in the Energy Study Committee, whatever you were position-wise on the wind turbine, there was people appointed by the Board of Selectmen, listened to for years by that Board of Selectmen. Almost $300,000 of taxpayer money was approved to be spent by that taxpayers, the Board of Selectmen's appointing that committee. And when the turbine was voted down at town meeting, we had two members of the Board of Selectmen high-fiving, which I found appalling. I just did. If you're going to appoint a committee, use it, respect it, and listen to it.
All right, here's your question. Do you think the Board of Selectmen should have been more diligent in supervision of the Airport Commission and the Airport Enterprise account during the several years the financial problems were allowed to develop?
That's my question, and I obviously know the answer to it, and my opinion on the answer to it. And yes, the Board of Selectmen appointed the Airport Commission, appointed people over and over again. It was another egregious example of what they allowed to happen. It was not as if at finance committee meetings, when the previous manager of the airport was coming with one sheet of paper to explain the finances of the airport. To me, as a layperson attending finance committee meetings when some members of the Board of Selectmen were there, the writing was more than on the wall and nobody asked the question. And I have no political antenna. I sit here going, what the heck? What the heck were you thinking? But I think the airport, it's something that we need to keep track of as it begins its recovery. I think Tom Ridge is doing a yeoman's effort out there. But this is something that took 6, 7, 8 years to develop, and that poor man is not going to fix it in a year. Yeah.
All right, and Joe Dooley's question. Do you remember how Nantucket used to be?
I remember how Nantucket used to be when we came up around the point 30 years ago. Does that mean... Yes, I do remember. That's
okay, and we like your opinion on what you remember.
What do I remember?
Yeah,
I remember we live in Tom Nevers, the dirt road side, as opposed to the paved road, gated side.
Okay.
we take pride in that in our neighborhood. I remember when we first came around the point from central Pennsylvania, first of all, Hurricane Glory was heading here that August or September or whatever, and I kept looking at my husband and saying, and tell me again why you moved me here from the safe hills of central Pennsylvania. I remember driving home, the island shut down after Labor Day. Driving home, has that changed? Of course it's changed. By virtue of me living here, of building a small house here, I'm part of the change. I remember what it was. It is still a shining city in the sea. And we have to love her for what she is now, and we have to take care of her in so many levels.
Right. Anything else you'd like to say, Carol, to the folks out there?
What I'd like to say is come to town meeting, get out to vote on the 9th. I'm asking for your vote, but I just want you to get to the polls and become more involved. And I know I keep repeating this. It's so important. If you, as I said, if you had asked me 5 years ago that I would have become as involved as I would have said, I don't think so. And I find it fascinating. You can become involved without committing 40 hours a week. There are committees that don't. We need to get everybody in the mix. And I want to work to do that, and I want to be part of that new mix and that new voice and those new ideas.
Thank you, Carol.
You're welcome.
It was always nice to see you.
It was. Are you going to the gym today?
Yes, I will see you later.
We'll see you.